Hey everybody, it's Chris again. I wanted to share more about my Kiwanis why and my Kiwanis story. It really begins when I was moving back from Withville to Lynchburg. Lynchburg is my hometown. My wife and I, Tara, got married and we moved to Withville and we worked for the Boy Scouts of America. And then we spent 4 years there and moved back. When I got back to Lynchburg, I realized that I didn't know any adults. The people that I grew up with were the age that I knew. And then a lot of folks had moved on. I called a scouting friend of mine, Philip Boson. And I said, Philip, you know everybody in town. You're a jeweler and you're just well connected. Would you introduce me to some folks that are professionals in Lynchburg? He said, great. What are you doing this Friday? And I said, nothing. He said, come to lunch with me. So I met Philip Boson for lunch on Friday, and I had no idea, but he had invited me to the Kiwanis Club of Lynchburg. The room was packed. We were meeting downtown on Main Street in one of the hotels down there. And when we walked in, the room was bustling. Everybody was having a good time, lots of fellowship, lots of giggles and laughs. We sat down to eat our lunch, and Philip looked over at me and said, hey, Chris, I'm so glad you're enjoying this Kiwanis thing. I'll tell you more afterward, but you should know that they have a program speaker every time. And their program speaker did not show up today, and they called in and had to bail. And so I told them you'd do it. And so my very first Kiwanis meeting, I got to speak to the entire group and let them know more about me and share more about Scouting America and the Boy Scouts of America. So from that moment, I've always just kind of been engaged with Kiwanis. I joined right away, and shout out to Philip for getting me involved. I had no idea what I was getting into, and it's been one of the blessed mistakes of my life. And I was glad to jump in with both feet, and I've been a registered member ever since. I'm so glad to be a Kiwanian. Throughout my journey, I was the secretary of the Kiwanis Club of Lynchburg. I was a board member there for years, and then president, past president, and then I served as the lieutenant governor there under Bryant. My why, what I really love about Kiwanis, other than the service and the fellowship, is all the cool opportunities we give to young people in improving our communities. My favorite memory is we used to put on a teddy bear parade in Lynchburg. It was a parade where kids could simply bring their teddy bears. We had categories. We would dress their bears up to look like a sports figure or to be a fantasy character. That parade was always amazing. It was in Miller Park in Lynchburg. We brought in local bands and cheerleaders. And this little parade around the park might have been the greatest opportunity for some of these kids in downtown Lynchburg. Those teddy bear parades were amazing. And the things that we're doing now are just amazing. So thank you for being a Kiwanian. I'm sharing a little bit more of my story, and I look forward to sharing more throughout these videos. And I ask for your vote at the district convention in August.